Hello everyone. I hope you are well in this pandemic. So this will be the last lecture of the playlist number of reflexive and symmetric relation. Before accessing, before going through this video, you must access the previous videos because it will be used here. If you are an undergraduate student, you will be able to grasp the concepts very well, as I have made specially for the undergraduate students because this question is almost common. You can see a MSc question paper in of BHU entrance exam, then you might get this question. This what is the number of reflexive and symmetric relation? There you will get a formula, but better than memorizing, I thought that why not see the derivation, how actually it came into place. Okay, so let's start the lecture. So the topic is number of reflexive and symmetric relation. So the first thing that we will go through is Cartesian product and relation. So what is a Cartesian product? It is basically a set operation. Suppose you are given two sets. So you can multiply them. So if you multiply them, the resulting set which you will get will be known as Cartesian product. Basically the elements will be ordered pairs where if we take the order pair, then the first element will be from the first set and the second element will be from the second set. So I have defined here, I've taken that A and B are two sets. The Cartesian product A cross B is defined as the set of all the ordered pairs A comma B such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Uh, I have written the Cartesian product in real method or set builder. Okay, so A cross B equals to curly bracket order pair A comma B. It should be comma. I have written full stop, printing mistake, never mind. So A comma B such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Next, I've taken an example. I've taken the set A as 1 comma 2, B equals to A comma B. Then I have taken the Cartesian product. So A cross B will be the order pairs 1 comma A, 1 comma B, 2 comma A, 2 comma B. Done. Next is relation. So what is a relation? In mathematical terms, a relation is basically you are given a statement, then you are deriving some mathematical term in it. Like in our day-to-day life relationship, you can think of that. Okay, so a relation R from A to B is said to be the subset of A cross B. Okay, so mathematically it is that you are, I know the Cartesian product till now. So if you take a subset of the Cartesian product, you will get a relation mathematically. So example, A equals to 1 comma 2, B equals to A comma B. I found the Cartesian product in the previous slide. So here R1 equals to 1 comma A, 2 comma B. So it is a subset of A cross B, so it will be a relation. Next, the question is, can you count all possible relations from A to B? So slowly we are going into the counting thing. So relation is defined as a subset of A cross B. Next, total number of relations will be all possible subsets of A cross B. That is equals to, we know that all possible subsets of A cross B power set. So cardinality of power set of A cross B, which is nothing but 2 to the power cardinality of A cross cardinality of B. Next, I'll discuss only two types of relation, special relation, because we will only focus the derivation of only counting formula of this type of relations. Okay, the first is reflexive relation. The reflexive relation, it is basically a relation that is defined on a set to itself. I've taken a set A, arbitrary, this is an arbitrary set. Then the relation R from A to A is reflexive if the order pair A comma A belongs to R for all A belongs to A. Means in the set A, you know all the elements. So to be a reflexive, all the ordered pairs of those elements should be in that set. Okay, so here I've taken an example. A equals to 1 comma 2, then R1 equals to 1 comma 2, 2 comma 2. Yes, you can see that the elements of A are 1 comma 2 and all the ordered pairs involving 1 comma 2 are there, 1 1 2 2. Okay, next R2 equals to 1 1 2 2 and 1 2. So in reflexive, the necessary condition is that the order pair A comma A must be there for all A belongs to A. It doesn't say anything about what happens if some other elements are involved or inside this relation. So we'll focus only the pair ordered pairs A comma A. So A comma A, the ordered pairs A comma A are in this set R2. So this relation R2, so R2 is a reflexive relation. Clear? Next, R3, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1. Here the order pair 1 comma 1 is there, but the order pair 2 comma 2 is not there, so it is not reflexive. Okay. Next is symmetric relation. Symmetric relation, again it is a relation that is defined from a set to itself. Okay. A be any set. Then the relation R from A to A is symmetric. If A comma B, the order pair A comma B belongs to R, then this would imply that B comma A belongs to R. Means if A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A must belong to R. This is the necessary condition. So example, I have taken an example A equals to 1, 2, 3. Then following are some relations. I have to see whether they are symmetric or not. The first relation R1 is 1 comma 2, the ordered pairs 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2, 2. Ordered pair 1 comma 2, so A comma B, so B comma A must be present, 2 comma 1 is present, so it is a symmetric relation. Next, 1 comma 3 is present, 3 comma 1 is present, okay. 1 comma 2 is present, 2 comma 1 must be present to be symmetric, but it is not there, so it is not symmetric. Okay, now let's come to the last section, counting formula. Okay, we have found the counting formula for total number of relations using the concept of cardinality of power sets. But now I will use the concept of matrix, okay, and the bijective function. So next, suppose I've taken the collection of all the relations from A to A and I name it as X. So X equal to R such that R is a relation from A to A. Next, I've taken another set Y and it is nothing but a matrix of order n cross n. Here I have taken that order of A equals to 3 because I have already mentioned that A equals to 1 to 3. So order of A equals to 3. Then I have taken a 3 cross 3 matrix, square matrix obviously, such that in its entries are 0 and 1. Now we know how to count the total number of matrices when order is given and entries are given that only 0 and 1 can occur. अरे भाई multiply तो करो है ना. तो वो last you can access the last video so you will get it. It is nothing but 2 to the power multiplication of the order. Here 2 to the power 3 cross 3 9. Now our main goal is to show that if we can produce a bijective function between x and y, we are done, because we know that if you can show a bijective function between two sets, this implies that their cardinality must be same. Okay, so suppose I have considered a function f such that x function is, goes from x to y such that f of r, because r will be an element of x, so f of r equals to m is an element of y such that a ij equals to 1 if I comma j belongs to r, and a ij equals to 0 if I comma j does not belongs to r. Okay, at first it might sound a bit odd. What is this? I don't understand, but slowly you will be able to understand. I've taken an example below it. You can see r equals to 1 comma 2 3 comma 1 2 comma 1. Let's try to convert it in matrix. Okay, so 1 comma 2 is there, means in the position a1 2 means row 1 column 2, the entry should be 1. Okay, 0 1 0. Next 3 1, others are 0. Oh yes, 2 is 2 comma 2 is there, means 2 second row second column, yes it is there. Next 3 comma 1 is there, third row first column, yes. So this will be the corresponding matrix 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0. Done. Okay, so we have to show that the cardinality of a was cardinality of x equal to cardinality of y. Here there is a printing mistake. Never mind, I'm used to it. So to show it must be cardinality of x equal to 2 to the power 9. Okay. Concept used. Bijection of two sets implies that they have same cardinality. Our function is already defined. Oh ho ho, I need to go. Okay, earlier we left that concept used. So our main motive was to show that the function defined is a bijective function. Okay. So in order to prove that it is a bijective function, we have to show that it is one function and onto function. So for one function means injectivity, we have to show that we define fx1 equal to fx2, then we have to show that x1 equals to x2. Means what is a one function? We already discussed in the first video. If you have not seen the first video, do what's okay. So fr1 equals to fr2, then corresponding matrix will be m1 and m2. They must be equal. We know that when two matrices are equal, if they have the same entries, means they will have same 1 in their I comma z position and same 0 in their I comma z position. Means that would imply that r1 equals to r2. So f is 1 1. Next, surjectivity. So in order to show that the function is 1 1, we will take any element of the codomain. Then we will show that there exists a x such that its image is that element. So we are taking an arbitrary element m that belongs to the set y. Then we are to show that there exists an element r that belongs to x whose image is m. Okay. So m will be aij such that aij equal to 1 if I comma j belongs to r and aij equals to 0 if I comma j does not belongs to r. Let r equals to obviously, so it says that there will be, we are to see that where are the ones. The one will be only in the iz position. If the iz, the ordered pair iz occurs in r, then we'll get one. So we'll choose r those iz order pairs such that aij equal to 1, corresponding to which aij equal to 1 in the matrix m. Thus when we take their image, we will get the matrix M. Okay, thus F is onto. Hence, cardinality of X equal to cardinality of Y, that is 2 to the power 9. Done. Next. So, counting reflexive relations. Let us consider a set A having cardinality N. We want to find the total number of reflexive relations on A. So, we want to basically derive a counting formula. So, what was a reflexive relation? It was a relation which has all the ordered pairs a comma a for all a belongs to a. Okay, so we will convert this into matrix form, then we will count it. If all a comma a pairs occur, means all the diagonal entries of a matrix should have one, because the diagonal matrix are of the form, the diagonal elements of a matrix are of the form 1 comma 1 2 comma 2 so on till n comma n. So they should be one fixed. Remaining can be altered. So what are the remaining entries? It is equals to total number of entries of a matrix, that is n into n square minus the diagonal elements n. So total number of matrices formed having n square minus n elements which can have 0 and 1 as entries will be 2 to the power n square minus n. Okay. Next, counting symmetric relations. What was a symmetric relation? It was basically a relation in which if the ordered pair a comma b occurs, then we must have b comma a. Okay. So in matrix, if the ij pair occurs, automatically the j comma I pair must occur. Means if the a ij has the entry 1, automatically a ji entry must have 1. So we just have to calculate only the upper triangular matrix or a lower triangular matrix. because they will be dependent. So total number of upper or lower triangular matrices will be, I'll count the lower triangular matrix, elements of lower triangular matrix. So considering from the diagonal elements, there are total n diagonal elements, so n less than that n minus 1 and so on till up to 1. So it will be 1 plus 2 plus dot 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 n. It is a arithmetic progression. Then the sum will be total number of terms divided by 2 into first term plus last term, that is n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, then the we have the entries. So in total there will be uh, okay, in total there will be n into n plus 1 by 2 entries. So 0 and 1 can occur in any of the n into n plus 1 entries. Then total number of matrices formed will be 2 to the power n into n plus 1 by 2, which is nothing but total number of symmetric relations. Okay, let us see some example so that your concept is being cleared. Okay, working. Let us see whether it works or not. Obviously, if I consider a equal to 1 to 3, it will be difficult. That is why I am considering a equals to 1 comma 2. Then all possible relations will be 2 to the power 4 equals to 16. Obviously we won't find the total number of relations, it will be b1 consisting of 16 elements. So I will just find total number of reflexive and symmetric relations. All reflexive relation will be by that formula, to the power n square minus n. Here n equals to 2, so to the power 2 square minus 2, that is equals to 4. So there will be in total 4 reflexive relations. At first I am writing the corresponding matrix, that is 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1. As you can see that in the matrix all the diagonal elements are filled, only the non-diagonal elements are being altered with 0 or 1. Okay, so the corresponding reflexive relation to the matrix, given matrix. So for the matrix 1 0 0 1, we have the reflexive relation, the order pair 1 1 2 2. Next, for the matrix 1 1 0 1, we have the reflexive relation 1 1 1 2 2 2. Then for the matrix 1 0 1 1, we have the reflexive relation 1 1 2 1 2 2. For the matrix 1 1 1 1, we have the reflexive relation 1 1 1 2 2 1 and 2 2. Again, all symmetric relations will be 2 to the power n into n plus 1 by 2. That is, here n equals to 2. So 2 to the power 2 into 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 2 2 got cancelled, 2 to the power 3, that is 8. Okay, then it will be 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 0. Okay, so you can see that only one part, if we count only one part of the I'm moving the cursor, yes, I guess it will be seen. Okay, if we are if we in our proof we have counted only the lower triangular matrices because it was dependent, no? So 1 1 1 1, then it is being altered 0 0 0 0 possibilities. So let's see, for the matrix 1 0 0 0, we have the symmetric relation 1 1. For the matrix 1 1 1 0, we have the symmetric relation 1 1 1 2 2 1. For the symmetric relation 1 1 1 1, we have 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 2. And for the others, we have this. Special mention the matrix 0 0 0 0, that will be phi, because phi is a symmetric relation. As you can see that if the ij position has 1, automatically the zi position will be 1, means here 1 1 comma 2 is I, then 1, then 2 comma 1 is also 1. Similarly, for all these matrices, you see that if the ij position is covered with 1, then the ith position will also have the entry 1. So that's all. If you like the video lecture, do give a like and comment, obviously. So this is the last video of the playlist. If you have any questions, you can comment uh, in the comment box. You can also suggest me some ideas regarding which I can make videos. So that's all. Thank you.